What league is not complete then without a ranking of the top 15 players in the USFL by our own player expert, Evan Wilsmore? He breaks it all down for you. So let's check it out. We'll go through this list. Number 5, Channing Strebing, cornerback, Michigan, team the Philadelphia Stars. I've heard his name out before. I believe he had some time in the CFL and XFL and AAF. That was a good pickup there. Kyle Laletta, QB at Richmond for the Pittsburgh Maulers, comes in at 14, one of the top guys. He won a Super Bowl. It was a Senior Bowl MVP in 2018. He was a 4th-round pick of the Giants. Didn't really play much. He gets a fresh start. Could he just come out the gate and blow stuff up for the Pittsburgh Maulers? He was on an interview at a local Pittsburgh radio station. Did a great job. Was a fan of his after that. We have a full article on USFL News Hub if you want to learn more from Kyle Laletta. Number 13, Brian Allen, cornerback of Utah for the Birmingham Stallions. Spring football world is finding himself in the spring football world for the first time. He was originally a 5th-round draft pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2017 and has since been a member of 5 different teams. Of course, bounce around like a lot of these guys. Now he can get some playing time and get a look. He's at number 13. Scooby Wright played in the XFL with the DC Defenders. I think I had the chance to actually meet him. He was a familiar face, and a lot of people know him. Unfortunately, only suited up for 3 games. Wright was a dominated college football in 2014, arguably the best player in the nation at one point. Unfortunately, after only suiting up for 3 games the following season, his NFL draft stock slipped dramatically. He would end up being taken in one of the final picks of the 7th round, but still managed to stay on rosters through 2018-19, spent time in the AAF XFL, and now he gets the chance to shine in the USFL. Super excited to see him do well there. Davonny Smith, running back, Michigan with the Maulers. He was with the Miami Dolphins. He was with the AAF. He was a member of the Tampa Bay Vipers. He was a good player there. And he's still in the prime at 27, appears enough left in the gas tank to be on the top leaderboards. Definitely a fan. Some of these guys, you need to make sure that you got your fantasy, News Hub Fantasy, checking out some of these players on your list. Kyle Slaughter, quarterback, New Orleans Breakers. Know a lot about him. Joined the Denver Broncos, an undrafted, somewhat of a journeyman, bounced around some teams, and now he lands with the New Orleans Breakers. He's their main guy there. Chris Odom, defensive end at Arkansas State for the Houston Gamblers. Didn't play at a large college football program like many other players on this list, but that didn't stop him from making many plays. Odom has shined as a defensive lineman, but also known for his contribution on special teams. That's a huge thing. Blocked 5 kicks, were the 2nd most in Arkansas State history, which helped him get NFL attention. He signed with the Falcons, undrafted 2017. Of course, didn't see much. He recently played for the Stampeders in 2021, where he recorded 5 tackles in 3 games. So Chris Odom out there. Marquis Malukas, offensive tackle, something that is a rare thing to find in these leagues. That's the problem. There's thin offensive tackle play in the NFL. So the idea that all these leagues has plenty of talent to go around, not at quarterback and not at tackle. He was with the Vipers in 2020, anchor for the best offensive line. I'd agree with that because 2 Tampa Bay running backs, Davonny Smith and Jacques Packard, finished in the top 5 for rushing. And that was because of guys like him. So he could be a compliment to Kyle Slaughter. Again, I would have been all over offensive tackles. Eli Rogers spent 4 years with Pittsburgh. 3 were under Bandits head coach Todd Haley. So maybe Todd Haley wanted to bring back. He would be a top target in DC Defenders. So he could have an immediately impact. I mean, Eli Rogers, Tampa Bay Bandits with Jordan Tayamu. Could we see another kind of PJ Walker? Oh my goodness, I forgot his name now. Cam Phillips action going on in the USFL between Eli Rogers and Jordan Tayamu. That is a good one. Avery Genesee, offensive tackle, spent some time with the XFL, but also I think he got maybe some time with some NFL teams were interested in him as well. So Kevin Gambler's head coach similarly held the same position at Texas A&M while Genesee was there, so they already know they have a connection. So now he's got a guy that he can trust. He was from Last Chance U to the USFL, so Genesee gets a shot there as the number 6 player. Then you have Taiwan Taylor, wide receiver, Western Kentucky for the Nolans Breakers. He was the best wide receiver in Western Kentucky history, recording 3,000 yards and 34 touchdowns over his last 2 seasons. We've gone selected the 3rd round by the Tennessee Titans and traded to the Cleveland Browns 2 years later. In 2020, Taylor had over 50 career interceptions, boasted plenty of upside, just 27 years old. The Slaughter-Taylor duo could be definitely one to keep an eye on in the USFL as the season progresses there. Devontae Busby, cornerback, Pittsburgh State. Considering a veteran at this point in his pro career, we've done plenty in his first NFL opportunity in 2020. He won a Super Bowl as a member of the Eagles practice squad. After spending time in the AAF, made a comeback with the Broncos. The Generals made a great choice, adding Busby to the roster. Strong voice on and off the field. He's the number 4. Kayvon Walker, defensive end, Maryland, played with the New York Guardians. He was a great player there. 5 tackles for a loss, 9 quarterbacks hits, established himself. He was a great player. He will be a great player from Maryland to play for the Michigan Panthers with Jeff Fisher. Should be exciting to see how he does. C.J. Marvell, running back, Coastal Carolina, Birmingham Stallions. Could they get a super playmaker? He's yet to have any meaningful professional games. Don't let that hinder you. In his 2 seasons at Coastal Carolina, he counted for 23 touchdowns on the ground while averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Additionally, he had 10 receiving touchdowns, bring up a total to 33. Signed by the Bears, undrafted in 2021, but didn't make the final roster. He's only 1 year removed from college. He's young and can develop into an NFL caliber player with little more time. Stallions will hope him just do that. It could give him a team and a league as a whole some serious credibility in the future. He could be a guy to watch. Very young guy. And number 1 from my Tampa Bay Bandits, your number 1 player, Jordan Tayamu, spent time jumping around different NFL teams. Of course, he was known for the St. Louis Battlehawks, but played in a couple games, didn't really get a chance to shine. Now he's got a chance to shine and got some great weapons to work with, and he's back on the field for the USFL. Quarterback out of Mississippi rounds out that. There's some honorable mentions. Shea Patterson, quarterback, Panthers. Jamar Moore, wide receiver from Missouri. He's on the New Jersey Generals. And Ahmad Gooden, defensive end, outside linebacker from Samford and for the Houston Gamblers. So what do you think of this list? Do you agree? Who's missing from this list? Who needs to be removed? Let us know your ranking of the top 15 players in the USFL.